Deion Sanders. I'm a big fan of his athletic ability. Arguably the most athletic player we've ever had. Arguably the GOAT of professional football, despite Tom Brady. Deion Sanders, way more athletic than Tom Brady. But let me give you my assessment of Coach Prime. I respect him as a black man. I respect his accomplishments. Me and Charlemagne went back and forth over Deon today. You're going to see this when you watch the Breakfast Club interview. Charlemagne and Dr. Umar, respectfully, we went back and forth over this. Charlemagne is my brother. But we disagreed vehemently over Deion Sanders' decision. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, in 2016, I saw and heard Deion Sanders say out of his own mouth that Colin Kaepernick was wrong. I saw and heard Deion Sanders say Colin Kaepernick was wrong for taking a knee. Charlemagne said he didn't say it. Yes, he did. On national TV, he was in a roundtable discussion about the protest, and he said Colin Kaepernick was wrong. I wrote it down. I remember. I put him in the Django prison for that. I put Deion Sanders in the Django prison for not standing with Colin Kaepernick. Yes, I did. Deion Sanders lost stripes for me when he didn't stand with Colin Kaepernick. Then, when I heard he took the Jackson State job, I've spoken at Jackson State before. Shout out to the Jackson State students. And if you are on the Jackson State football team, please text me and answer me one question. Did Deion Sanders tell you guys up front when he took the job? Charlemagne and I disagreed on this today during the Breakfast Club interview. Did Coach Prime tell you guys 3 years ago that if a white college offers me a job, I will leave you immediately? Did he tell y'all that? 215-989-9858. Did Deion Sanders tell the players of Jackson State that as soon as a Division I white school offers me a job, I'm leaving? Did he tell you that? Because according to what I saw him say, according to what I heard him say, he said he would consider or entertain. He would consider or entertain. He did not say he would be jumping up and running to the white school the minute they offered him a bag. He did not say he would be abandoning Jackson State after 3 years. Now let me continue. It's okay for us to disagree. My standard is different from your standard. It's okay for us to disagree. My standard is different from your standard. You have a selfish, follow the money, me over the people standard. Let me say it again. We can disagree. Many of you Negropeans watching this have a selfish, follow the money, it's me over the movement mentality. That's who you are. That's who Deon is. I understand that Negro mentality, but I don't endorse it. And I'm not going to co-sign it. And I'm going to explain to you why Deion Sanders' decision was not good for Black America. I'm going to explain it to you. Charlemagne talked about how he has helped children. Kudos to him. Charlemagne talked about he gave up some of his salary. Kudos to him. Charlemagne talked about how he helped Jackson State get some athletic contracts, all of which will be taken back after he's gone. Now that he's gone, they're going to lose all those contracts now that he's gone. He took care of Jackson State while he needed Jackson State. I'm going to say it again. Deon took care of Jackson State while he needed Jackson State. Let me say it one more time. Deon took care of Jackson State while he needed Jackson State. I applaud the good things Deion Sanders has done in his community. I applaud the good things Deion Sanders has done in his community. And I know most of you black men were raised in a house where religion was more important than your race. So I understand why money is more important than you, than saving your people. I get it, niggas. I understand. You and me are different. That's okay. I understand your selfishness. I understand your pursuit of money. See, this is why we are not the generation that should receive reparations. This is why we are not the generation that should receive reparations. This is why Black America's addiction to money far outweighs our loyalty to community. Black America's addiction to money far outweighs our loyalty to community. Every other culture is after power. We are after dollars. Every other culture is after power. We are after the dollar. Every other people are in pursuit of power, and we are in pursuit of the unholy dollar. Every other group is in pursuit of power. We are in pursuit of the unholy dollar. In order for you to fully understand why Deion Sanders' decision was so tragic and reprehensible, in order for you to understand why Deion Sanders' decision to abandon a black school for 98.5% white University of Colorado, he's leaving a predominantly black college for a 98.5% white university. The University of Colorado has 1.6% black students. That's all the athletes. That's all the snow bunny loving athletes. That's all the snow bunny loving athletes. And then on top of that, he taken the best players with him from Jackson State. So not only is Deon leaving Jackson State, he took the best players with him, and you Negroes are trying to tell me that that was not an act of betrayal. Let me ask you a question. If you are fighting a war, I gave Deon 50,000 lashes on the Breakfast Club today. I gave Deon 50,000 lashes on the Breakfast Club today. If you're fighting a war and somebody takes your troops over to the enemy's army, is that not a traitor? Is that not a traitor? Did Deion Sanders become a traitor in the war to save the HBCU? That's my question. Did Deion Sanders, some of you are saying, Deion Sanders was mistreated at Jackson State, and I don't condone that, but that's no excuse. The mission was greater than that. I'm mistreated by you. I get mistreated by you all in fighting for my people. Do I abandon the mission? That's an excuse. See, the problem here is most of us have a very low level of commitment to our people. That's all this is. Most of us have a very low level of commitment to our people. The reason Deon is leaving the team and taking the best players. He's leaving the team and taking the best players. He didn't just leave, he took the players with him. Now stay with me. This is what I thought Deon was up to. This is what we needed Deon to be about. I needed Deion Sanders to remain the coach of Jackson State. Help other retired NFL greats become the football and basketball coaches of all of the remaining HBCUs. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. I want you to understand me. I want you to understand me. I want you to overstand me. I wanted Deon to start an HBCU revolution. I thought Deion Sanders, by the way he was talking, by the words out of his own mouth, I thought he was going to start a revolution. I thought he was going to help other black ex-NFL greats become head coaches of all the HBCUs. And once all the HBCU football teams and basketball teams are coached by ex-NFL greats and ex-NBA greats, they can now challenge the PWIs for the best black talent in high school. They can now challenge Duke in North Carolina. They can now challenge Oregon and USC. They can now challenge the PWIs for the best black high school talent in the country. And once they systemically create a black high school student to black college pipeline, once they establish a black high school student to black college pipeline, once they establish a black high school student to black college pipeline, the revenue of the HBCU starts to go up. And when the revenue of the HBCU starts to go up and the popularity of the HBCU starts to go up, they now have enough money to pay their bills. They now have enough money to hire better faculty. They now have enough money to rebuild their institutions. They have enough money to recruit the best black players. They can now get TV contracts to play on national television. And now Jackson State is playing USC. Now the University of Alabama has to play South Carolina State. Cheney University and Lincoln University could take on the Oregon Ducks. They could take on the University of Florida. It would have been a revolution. I'm not talking about football. I'm not talking about basketball. You're missing my point. Football and basketball was simply going to be the vehicle through which we rebuilt the HBCU movement so they can't compete with the white schools. Because right now, the white colleges are stealing all the black students academically and athletically. The PWI is stealing all the black students athletically and academically. The PWI is stealing all the black students athletically and academically. I thought Deon, through his own words, he talked about the discrimination against the black colleges. And then you go and abandon the black college yourself for money. You abandon a 99% black school for a 99% white school for money. Now I'm about to go real deep with y'all. I'm about to go real deep and I need y'all to follow me. Deion Sanders could have made history. Deion Sanders could have went down in history as one of the 10 greatest black men to walk this country because he saved an endangered species, the HBCU. It was bigger than football. It was bigger than basketball. It was about saving an entire legacy. Now, let me tell you why. Oh, we know he ain't Jesus. See, the problem with y'all is y'all would do what he did. So we're not disagreeing. You're a different kind of a black man. That's all. This is why you can go marry white girls and feel no guilt. This is why you parade white women in front of little black girls and black women and you feel no guilt, because you're a different type of a Negro. You are a money first Negro. White America loves a money first Negro. You know why? Because a money first Negro can be paid to work against his own people's best interests. A money-first Negro can be paid to work against his own community's best interests. Deon said, at the University of Colorado, I can hire more black coaches. I'm still going to mentor black men because most of the football players are black. Deon, this wasn't about hiring a few token black coaches at a white institution. Deon, this was not about hiring a few black token coaches at a white school. Deon, this was not about coaching a few black students at a PWI. This was about saving systemically the HBCU legacy and the HBCU program holistically. This wasn't about sports, brother. Sports was the medium to do it, but this was bigger than sports, and you sold us out for money, bro. Just like you said Colin Kaepernick was wrong for taking a knee, your ass is wrong for leaving Jackson State. You dead wrong. Now let me go. Oh, and then y'all say, was he supposed to coach there forever? Nope. But he did need to coach there long enough to establish the black high school student to black college pipeline. And once that was firmly in place with ex-NFL and ex-NBA greats running the whole process so black colleges can't compete with white colleges, he could have left. How long do I think this would have took? 10 years. About 10 years, maybe 7. 3 years? You know what 3 years tells me, Deion Sanders? You know what 3 years tells Dr. Umar? 3 years tells me you used Jackson State. You exploited Jackson State to prove to white colleges that you could coach. You never intended on really helping them. You never intended on really playing a contributing role to the survival of the HBCU. You used them as a stepping stone to get noticed by the white football teams. And the minute you got a job, your ass ran. That is not a hero in my book. I don't give a damn what y'all say. I'm not canceling my brother, but I'm very disappointed. Y'all ready to go deep right now? Y'all ready to go deep? Let me tell you why Deion Sanders' decision was so unfortunate. Let me tell you why Deion Sanders' decision was so unfortunate. Right now, the United States Supreme Court is about to hear a case, 2 cases involving Harvard University and the University of North Carolina. 2 cases involving Harvard University and the University of North Carolina. The question before the United States Supreme Court is whether or not race-conscious admissions policies are unconstitutional. Is it constitutional for PWIs to consider race and cultural factors in their admissions process? I hope Deion Sanders is listening. I hope Deon and all you Negroes who don't realize what a mistake he made, I hope y'all listening. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing a case on whether racial consciousness in admissions decision, can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Can you consider the race of a student in your admissions policy? Guess who's bringing the lawsuit? Asian Americans. And guess who's funding the Asian lawsuit? Guess who's funding the Asian lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court? The Asian lawsuit to the United States Supreme Court is being funded by white conservatives. Candace Owens' friends. Candace Owens' friends, her conservative buddies, they put $8 million into a lawsuit for Asians to challenge the constitutionality of race-conscious admissions policies at PWIs. I'm going to think about that. Oh, yeah. I'm the #1 scholar for a reason, brothers and sisters. I'm the #1 scholar for a reason, brothers and sisters. I'm the #1 scholar for the reason. Let me say it again. White racist conservatives have spent $8 million to finance the Asians' fight before the Supreme Court to eliminate race as a factor in college decisions of admissions. Harvard University, University of North Carolina is the test case. If the Supreme Court overturns a 2016 decision that they made stating that race can be used as one of many factors in college admissions. In 2016, the U.S. Supreme Court said race can be used as one of many factors in college admissions, that student diversity is important. That's what the Supreme Court said in 2016. That's what the Supreme Court said in 2016. That's what the Supreme Court, they said you can use race as one of many factors in 2016. But guess what? The white man is funding the yellow man to eliminate the black man from the PWI. Did you hear me, Deon Sanders? Deon Sanders, did you hear me? Deon Sanders, let me say it so Deon Sanders can understand me. The white man is funding the yellow man to remove the black man from the white college. Let me say it one more time, so you Negropeans can understand, overstand, and understand me. Let me say it one more time. The white man is funding the yellow man to gentrify the black man out of the white college. That means if Judge Uncle Clarence Thomas, if Judge Clarence Uncle Tom S. and the conservatives of the Supreme Court, if they overturn the 2016 decision, I want every black person to hear me right now. I didn't get a chance to say this on the Breakfast Club today because I was late. No blame on Envy, no blame on Charlemagne. But I want every black high school student to hear me. I want every black parent to hear me. I want all black people to hear me. If the Supreme Court overturns their 2016 decision to allow race as a factor in college when your child applies to a predominantly white institution, the color of their skin, the legacy of racism, the fact that Africans built this country will not be considered at all. Listen to what the Asians are saying. Listen to what the Asians and their white handlers are saying. The name of the organization is Students for Fair Admissions. Go and do your research on SFFA. Hashtag SFFA. Students for Fair Admissions. Hashtag SFFA. Students for Fair Admissions. Somebody please hashtag that for your brother. Somebody please hashtag that for your brother. Research Students for Fair Admissions. It's a movement started by a white racist Edward Blum. BLUM. Somebody go look up Edward Blum. BLUM, the white man funding the yellow man to push the black man out of the white colleges. Edward Blum, SSFA. Edward Blum is the founder of Students for Fair Admissions. The white man funding the yellow man to push the black man off the white college campus. This is why Deon made a big mistake. According to SSFA, admissions policies at PWIs discriminate against Asians. According to the Asians and their white handlers, they are discriminated against in the personality portion of the admissions process. Listen to me. Discrimination against Asians in subjective portions of the application process. Students for Fair Admissions claims that Harvard University admissions officers hold them to a higher standard by subscribing to the model minority stereotype. Admissions officers at Harvard University hold Asian Americans to a higher standard by subscribing to the model minority stereotype. SSFA claims that despite boasting higher test scores and better grades, although Asians have higher test scores and better grades than any other group, although Asians have higher test scores and better grades than any other group, they are consistently receiving lower rankings on personality traits, according to a statistical analysis paid for by SSFA, where they looked at 160,000 student records. The Asians claim that emphasis on personality significantly undermines qualified Asians. Listen to me, black people. Listen to what they said. Emphasis on personality significantly undermines otherwise qualified Asian American chances of getting in. The Asian Americans and their white financiers. The Asian Americans and their white financiers want the Supreme Court to say that colleges, white colleges, can no longer use race, class, socioeconomic status, previous disadvantage, other personality factors in the admissions process. Edward Blum, that white racist, and the Asian Americans, they want test scores and grades only. Test scores and grades. And they said that if the Supreme Court forces white colleges to only consider test scores and grades, Asian American college acceptance would go up by at least 20%. Listen to this. Asian American college acceptance will go up by 20%, and African American college acceptance at PWIs would plummet by at least 50%. Do you understand why we needed Deon to stay at Jackson State? If there's any brothers who understand me, can I get a black fist? If there's any sisters who understand me, can I get some hearts? I'm talking to the nationalists. I'm talking to the Pan-Africanists. I'm talking to those who care about black people. They are trying to eliminate black students from white colleges. This is why Deion Sanders made a mistake that's going to cost us. That brother should have been fighting to save the HBCU, and he skated off. And now Colorado University is going to make millions of dollars off Deion Sanders. That's why he's there. Deion Sanders ain't there because they care about him. He is there to be their plantation slave. Deion Sanders is there to be the overseer for the plantation football players to make money for the plantation kings, brothers and sisters. Y'all don't see the slavery in this? Y'all don't see the slavery in this? They're going to use Deon and make millions. Nobody's coming to see them games. They coming to see Deion Sanders. They don't care if they win at Colorado. They know Deon can sell millions and millions of tickets. Just like the University of Michigan exploited the Fab Five and Chris Webber. Just like the University of Michigan exploited the Fab Five and Chris Webber. Just like the University of Michigan exploited the Fab Five and Chris Webber. The University of Colorado with 1.6% black students. 1.6% black students is going to exploit Deion Sanders for millions of dollars. They are using that brother. They using that brother and stole him from us, and he went with the slave master against his own people. Let's keep on going. The Asians are more likely than blacks to receive a low personality score at predominantly white colleges. According to SFFA, Students for Fair Admissions, Asians funded by whites, yellow and white working against black. We're the multiculturalists at now. Yellow and white working against black. We're the multiculturalists at now. Yellow and white working against black. We're the multiculturalists now. Yellow and white working against black. Where are the multiculturalists now? Oh, you don't know? When Asians first came to America, they sued in court to be called white. You don't know? When Mexicans first came to America, they sued in court to be called white. Oh, you don't know? When Puerto Ricans first came to America, they sued in court to be considered white. Oh, yes. Go do your research. I'm going to say it again. When Puerto Ricans first came into America, they sued in court to be called white. Chinese sued in court to be called white. Mexicans sued in court to be called white. And now you have white people funding the Asians to eliminate the blacks. The white man funding the yellow man to take down the black man. This is why Deion Sanders' decision has to be viewed with contempt. We not canceling our brother. We not dismissing our brother. We love Deion Sanders, but he made a bad decision. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. Let's keep on going. Check this out, and I'm going to end it on this note. Students for Fair Admissions, Asians funded by whites, is funded by conservatives who are tied to all 6 of the 9 conservative justices on the Supreme Court. I hope y'all heard what I just said. I hope y'all heard what I just said. I hope you heard. I'm going to say it again. SFFA is funded by conservative whites under Edward Blum. And the conservatives that are funding the Asian lawsuit against blacks. The funders of the Asian lawsuit against blacks before the Supreme Court, they are tied to all 6 of the 9 conservative justices on the U.S. Supreme Court bench. Do y'all know what that means? You think a Tatiana Jefferson's case is a setup? No blacks on a jury of a cop who murdered a black woman? Y'all think a Tatiana Jefferson's second execution? Look at this case. If you think a Tatiana Jefferson situation is bad, look at this. The white people funding the Asians to push the black students out of the white college are tied to all 6 of the Supreme Court justices. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. This is why Deion Sanders needed to stay there. Because if the black college is eliminated, every time we lose another HBCU, every time we lose another HBCU, and the Supreme Court overturns this, you heard what Clarence Thomas said. You heard what what did Clarence Thomas said? He don't know what diversity means. Clarence Thomas went on record, brothers and sisters, last month or the month before, and he said he don't know what diversity means. I think it's getting overturned. I think it's getting overturned. I think it's getting overturned. And if they kill the HBCU and the Supreme Court overturns the use of race in college admissions, if they keep on shutting down HBCUs and the Supreme Court overturns the use of race in college admissions, if they overturn the use of race at PWIs and HBCUs keep getting shut down, they're turning us into a permanent underclass. And they're using Asians to do it. Them same Asians y'all was marching for. All you black folks was out there for the anti-Asian hate marches. All you Negroes was out there for the anti-Asian hate marches. Can I ask you a question? Where the Asians at for the anti-black marches at? Where the Asians at? I don't see no Asian going against this lawsuit. I don't see no Asians going against this lawsuit by their own people. This is why Deion Sanders made a big mistake when he left Jackson. And if y'all don't feel me now, I didn't get a chance to say all this on the Breakfast Club. The white and yellow collaboration to push black children out of PWIs, brothers and sisters. I got to deal with Shannon. Shannon Sharp, you threw Kyrie under the bus, and then you walked it back. Shannon Sharp said, instead of being happy for Deion Sanders, we want to beat him down. Shannon Sharp said, instead of being happy for Deion Sanders, we want to beat him down. Shannon Sharp said, instead of being happy for Deion Sanders, we want to beat him down. Shannon Sharp said, when we do something good, we the last people to be happy for us. This is what he told his handler, Skip Bayless. This is what Shannon Sharp told his handler, Skip Bayless, criticizing black people before the world, like Charles Snow Bunny Barkley and Shaq Uncle Sambo O'Neal. Shannon Sharp said, whenever we do something good, we the last people to be happy. Then Shannon said he didn't want to go to a black college. Shannon Sharp got on national TV with his handler, Skip Bayless, and said, I never wanted to go to Savannah State. I wanted to go to a PWI. Shannon Sharp said, I went to Savannah State because it's the only place I could go. Shannon Sharp said, I never heard of an HBCU. The only thing I heard of was the United Negro College Fund. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This bothers me because I love my people. This bothers me because I love my people. This bothers me because I love my people. This bothers me. He got on the show with Skip Bayless and said, I never even heard of a HBCU. The only thing I knew about a HBCU was the United Negro College Fund. Can I ask y'all a question? Go watch it. I'm quoting him. Go watch it. I'm quoting Shannon. These are his exact words. Go watch it. And then he said, HBCU was not my first choice. Can I ask y'all a question? Even if Shannon Sharp didn't want to go to Savannah State, even if Shannon Sharp never heard of a HBCU, Why in the hell are you going on national television with Skip Bayless and telling the whole world that you didn't want to go to a historically black college? Telling the whole world that you never even heard of a historically black college. Now, isn't Shannon from Georgia? Where is Shannon Sharp from? Somebody look it up. Is Shannon from Georgia? I don't want to misrepresent the truth. Shannon is from Georgia. How in the hell, with all the HBCUs in Georgia, how in the hell, with all the HBCUs in Georgia, how in the hell, with all the HBCUs in Georgia, did Shannon Sharp never hear of a HBCU? You know what that tells me? That tells me Shannon Sharp had the snow bunny virus when he was in high school. Shannon Sharp never liked black people. Shannon Sharp never cared about black people. Maybe that's why you don't date black girls. So you don't date black women. You've abandoned black women. And although a HBCU is responsible for making Shannon Sharp who he is, shout out to Savannah State. And now that a HBCU is responsible for making Shannon Sharp what he is, he wants to turn his back on Savannah State and tell the whole world that I never wanted to go there. What good is it for Shannon Sharp to tell the whole world he didn't want to go to a black college? Can somebody explain to me what benefit was it for Shannon Sharp to tell the whole world that he did not want to go to a black college? So you already made it clear you're not loyal to black women, and now you're making it clear that you're not loyal to black colleges. And I used to support Shannon Sharp, talking about instead of being happy for Deon, we want to run him down. You damn right. He betrayed us. When we do something good, we the last people to be happy for us. Now you want to act like Shaq and Charles. Whenever you do something good, we the last people who want to be happy for us. Now you want to get down like Shaq and Snow Bunny Barkley. HBCU wasn't my first choice. You a fool. You a fool. I've lost all respect for them. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Charles Barkley. Brothers and sisters, if we don't save us, nobody will. And these are the people you want to give reparations to. Help me understand how these are the people you want to give reparations to. Can somebody see, when I said that our generation should not be the generation to receive reparations, when I said our generation should not be the generation to receive reparations, some of the Negropeans attacked me. But these are the people you want to give our ancestors money to. You want to give our ancestors money to a generation of black people who have no loyalty to black people. You want to give our ancestors if you understand me, can I get some fists from my brothers? If you understand me, can I get some hearts from my sisters? If you understand me, can I get some fists from my brothers? If you understand me, can I get some hearts from my sisters? You want to take my ancestors' restitution. This is what y'all telling me. Y'all want to take our ancestors' restitution and give it to black men and black women who have no interest in using any of that money to reconstruct, repair, and rebirth black America. Do you understand me now? Do you understand me now? Do you overstand me now, brothers and sisters? Are you telling me you think it's acceptable to give our ancestors restitution? 1619 to 2019, 400 years. That's 20 generations of Africans. Are you telling me that you want to give the payment, the restitution of 20 generations to the Negroes living right now who have no interest in using any of that money to help us resurrect ourselves? You can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. You can't fool DR.UMAR any of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time. You can't fool DR.UMAR any of the